All right, today is Monday, November 2nd, 2020. We are going to review our Google Meets etiquette, review our class norms, review and recite our mission statement and goals, our learning objectives, work on our science warm-up, and then we are going to continue with that lab for potential and kinetic energy speed lab that we started on. We started it on Thursday, and then we're going to continue it today and then wrap it up on Wednesday. Your Google etiquette, please make sure you show up on time. We start at 7:50, promptly at 7:50. When the bell rings at 7:50, I start the announcements. Please make sure you have a quiet place to work, have all materials and supplies, mute your microphone, turn your video on, raise your hand, or use nod to ask any questions, unmute your microphone to talk, leave at the end of the meeting. Our class norms are to be kind, be respectful, and be working. Be kind means it's our tone, our words, ideas, and our thoughts. Be respectful, listen, look, and allow others to do the same. And be working, please stay on task. Our mission statement. Oh, some of you missed the whole part. Your cameras need to be on. That's how we know you're paying attention. If your camera's off, we are under the assumption you are not paying attention. And I make note of that so that when you are not making the grades that you have a desire to make, and I have parent-teacher conference calls, I let the parent know that your camera's off. And when your camera's off, you're not paying attention. That's the only thing we can assume, is that you have something to hide, which tells me if your camera's off, you're gotten up and walked away, which means you're just not paying attention, and that's not cool because you're not learning what you need to know, and then you're not able to know what directions to follow. So please make sure that you are front and center of the screen. That is really important that you are paying attention, because what I have going on, and it's not just me, it's conversations that I've had with other teachers, not just in 4th grade, but other grade levels, that oftentimes we give you a set of instructions like, where do we go to find the assignment? And for some reason, 30 minutes later, after I've already explained and recorded how to go to the assignments, somebody always raises their hand and says, what are we working on? How do I get there? It's very important you're paying attention, because we are starting our 12th week of school. If you don't know how to get on assignments by the time the 12th week starts, then that clearly states to myself and all the other teachers across the grade levels, or even in 4th grade, that you're not paying attention. And you have to. You have to pay attention. You guys online especially, you have to be listening, because you are going to miss something if you are not, which is why we ask you to be in a quiet place so that you don't have anything distracting you, right? We need you on point, all in, so that you can learn and succeed. All right, our mission statement. We will work together as friends and family in Mrs. Met's class to gain more knowledge, to work, and to learn, so we can all be successful. We will listen to each other, help each other, and encourage each other. We will make things happen. And show the world we will not accept anything short of the best. All right, good job. Class goal, 100% of Mrs. Met students will show growth on unit assessments throughout the 2020-2021 school year. They will accomplish this goal by being purposeful and intentional with their time and learning. That's the whole paying attention thing, guys. You got to intentionally pay attention. Today's learning objective, You will explore the relationship between the application of a force and resulting change in position and the motion of an object. So we're looking at force. The type of force we're looking at is going to be potential and kinetic, and then what happens. Our warm-up champs, you are to work independently. Raise your hand and wait patiently if you have any questions. You are reading, thinking, and solving. You're going to stay in your spot. That means you're staying on your screen and stay focused on your work so that we can all be successful. I am going to show you how to get into your warm-up. Remember, your warm-up is no longer in discussions. It is inside of the module. So what I'm doing right now is I have opened up my Mrs. Metz homepage. So everybody needs to go to their Mrs. Metz homepage. So at this point, you are no longer looking at the meeting. You're listening to my voice so you know where to go. You are listening to my voice. You are not looking at the meeting. If you're looking at the meeting, you're not following instructions. Your cameras need to be on. All right, so everybody should be on the Mrs. Metz homepage for our warm-up. I'll give you a couple more seconds. You're going to scroll down to week 12. Scroll down to week 12. And remember, we clicked on week 12. Yes, Chloe? I can't hear you. Then you're not in the right place, dear. There's not even a week 13 on there. There's a week 12. Hang on, I'm trying to get there. Nope, it says week 12, hun. It's week 12. I don't know where you're at that it says week 13, dear. I haven't even entered in a week 13. Kaden. Did I not have it? There's a good chance I didn't. Hang on a second. Let me get there. No, you're fine. You're absolutely fine. There's a good chance I didn't add it. I didn't? Okay, guys, please don't just blurt and say something because y'all are canceling each other out, okay? Y'all are in each other. We don't need that, okay? This is why we raise our hands, okay? We raise our hand and we wait patiently. This whole technology thing takes everything a minute, right? Takes everything a minute. Let me add the Cami real quick. So please make sure you're on mute. Let me take care of this. This will not take me long at all. I just need a minute. So wait quietly and patiently. Wait quietly and patiently. Wait quietly and patiently. Hang on just a minute. Let's wait quietly and patiently. Give me just a minute. Just a minute. I can fix this. This will not take me long at all. You just got to be patient. Level 0 patience. Level 0 patience. Give me just a minute. It won't take me long to fix this. Won't take me long. Give me just a minute. Just a minute. Give me just a minute. Just a couple more steps. Give me just a minute. Give me a couple more steps. Somebody needs to go on mute. I can hear you clicking. Level 0. Stay on mute. Stay on mute. Give me just a minute. I know some of you might have questions. Hang on. If you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm trying to get the Cami file uploaded into your warm-up, so just give me just a minute. I am working on it. I think I've got it right here, so give me just a minute. Give me just a minute. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. Give me a minute. Give me just a minute. Let me click save. All right, let's see. I'm going to go back to the home page. So everybody needs to go back and click on the home page. I'm going to go back in student view. You could, some of you know that you can just click on refresh, and the refresh might work. All right, go back down to week 12. Go back down to week 12. I'm going to click on the week 12 warm-up. Oh, wait, no, don't open it. Don't open it. Don't open it. Wait, don't open it. Let me fix that. Wait, don't open it. Don't open it. Nobody open. Nobody open. Nobody open. Hang on a minute. Let me fix that. I don't want it to show up there. I want it to open up a new tab. Hang on. Let me fix that. Let me fix that. All right. Let me refresh. I'm going to refresh. There we go. Now we have a button. All right. So hit refresh. And then click on the load week 12 button. I want you to have a button. All right. Okay. Now we are good. We are good. All right. So Monday. Are we all there? Thumbs up. We're all there? Thumbs up. We're all there. All right. I got a lot of thumbs up. All right. So we can keep going. Okay. So reporting category, number 1, matter and energy. Monday's warm-up says 1, place the letter M next to each one that is a simple mixture or just a mixture. Place the letter S next to each one that is a solution. Place the letter X next to any that are neither. So you have M for mixture, S for solution, or X for neither. Hassan. Okay, I don't know what you're gonna have to go back and tell me what's going on again. Okay, whoa, hold up. Each one of what? I don't know what them is. Okay, what are we on right now? What are we on right now? Hassan, I don't see what you see, so you're going to have to speak in details for me. Okay, what are we doing right now? What are we doing right now? What are we working on right now? Pardon me? Okay. So, Hassan, what that tells me is that you're not paying attention. Okay, are you in the right class? Are you in the right place? Do you know what we're supposed to be doing right now? No. Okay, we're working on the warm-up. So how did you get to the warm-up? Like you said, go to the home page. Okay. And then scroll down. Okay. To week 12. Okay. Then go to Okay. Okay, so Hassan, if you are following those steps and you clicked on week 12, then the very first thing that shows up says week has W12 warm-up. Because you have to listen. You have to listen. Don't, and I know what you guys like to do is y'all think you know what's happening, so you guys race ahead. And that's okay as long as you get to where you need to go without any issues. But if you have issues getting where you need to go, then you don't need to get ahead of the game. You need to stick with us. Come on in. I can fix that. Watch this. Thank you, Kamani. There you go. That's what you need to be working on. So with all of that, I'm really hoping that some of you were working on this, but I'm going to go ahead and give you 5 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and give you 5 minutes. And go. Number 1 and 2 on Monday. You're right. Honey and water is a solution. Come on, give me another one. Pink lemonade is a mix? No, it's not. Pink lemonade is a what? It is a solution. It is not easily separated. Pink lemonade is a solution. Give me another one. Kaden. Yes, I can. That is a mixture. Noodles and meatballs is a mixture. Give me another one. Sujab. No, Kool-Aid is not an X. You know how you make Kool-Aid? With water? Yep. Kool-Aid is a solution because you mix it with water and a powder. That is a solution. Yep, and sugar. How about vinegar and sugar? What is vinegar and sugar? Sujab. Vinegar and sugar? You're right. I would agree with that because I bet you I can get sugar to melt in vinegar if I warm it up. I'm going to say that's a solution as well. Vinegar and sugar is a solution. All right. Raise your hand for number 2. Explain the difference between a mixture and a solution. What is the difference between a mixture and a solution? Scarlett, what's the difference between a mixture and a solution? A mixture can be easily separated, and a solution can't. That's it. It really is that simple. A mixture, you can just take pieces out. A solution, you have to like boil it off or do something crazy, right? Hassan. Actually, you have that backwards. A solution is combined to make a different substance. Holding. A solution combines multiple substances to create a new substance. And a mixture does not. When you put different things together in a mixture, whatever it is that you're putting in there remains the same. Like if I put M&Ms with nuts, the nuts isn't going to change because of the M&Ms, right? But if I put water with sugar, that now creates sugar water. Tyler. You are absolutely correct. You are absolutely correct. Those are perfect examples of mixtures and solutions. Come on, E. You are correct. But don't forget, solutions are also multiple things combined too. Just with solutions, they're not easily separated. Mixtures are easily separated, right? So keep that in mind. Those are all great ways to describe it. Last one, Chloe. I can barely hear you. Can you repeat what you said? Yes, those are perfect examples. Good job. All right. Let's go back to the Mrs. Metz homepage. We are going to continue with the speed lab. So go back into the Mrs. Metz homepage. We're on week 12, so go down to week 12. And week 12, day 1, Monday, potential and kinetic energy, day 2. If you click on this, what it's going to do is it's going to link you back to the assignment from Thursday, okay? So go ahead and click the link below to return to the original assignment with the lab file. So I'm going to go ahead and go back and click on week 11, day 4. And you do not have to go through and watch all this unless you have forgotten, because we've already talked about a lot of it. But what I want you to do is I want you to go ahead and load the week 11, day 4, Thursday assignment. Now, from what I could tell, some of you already started writing in this, but the stuff that you're writing did not make any sense because we really hadn't started anything yet. The biggest thing that I want you to understand is we're not going to start with page 1 and page 2. We're going to start with page 3 and page 4. Then we'll do our test for page 1 and page 2. Hang on a minute. Y'all can't see that. All right. So, does anybody have any questions of where we are starting on this? So, I need y'all to listen to me. When you open up this file, I want you to scroll down to the page that starts with 1.4, elaborate. We're going to start with the page that says 1.4, elaborate. Okay, thumbs up. Is everybody on the 1.4 elaborate? Thumbs up. Because this is where we're going to start typing things. Tyler, you're not there. Okay, what do we need to do? Okay, go back to the home page. Click on week 12. And then you see the assignment that says W12D1 for science. Click on it. And then it says to go down and click the link for the original assignment. So go down and click the link for the original assignment. That's week 11, day something. Day 4, Thursday. Yes. Yes. Okay, and then make sure you're on the page that says 1.4, elaborate. So it's page 3. All right. All right. So thumbs up, everybody's here? We're all here? Okay, fantastic. All right, so the first thing I want to do, and you don't have to type your name in unless you absolutely want to, is I want to look at the variable you are testing. So when we set up our lab, and the way to find out the variable we are testing is if we go to this graph, right? And we are looking at a couple of things. We are looking at the number of books in the ramp and the distance the car traveled. So what are the variables we are looking at? What are we going to type in? The variables we are looking at are, what are we testing? Anybody? When we build this, what 2 things are we looking at, Chloe? What about it, though? You're kind of there. Sujav, what do you think? What is the variable we are looking at? Although we're looking at it, that is not the variables that we are using in our test. LeBron. Based on what? The distance the car travels based on? There's another piece to that. You're on the right track. The distance the car travels based on something else. What is that something else, Talia? Well, not going to argue that, but not the answer we're looking for. Look at this graph. what are the two variables that we are working with when we look at this graph? If I'm looking at that graph on page 2, what are the two variables we are looking at? Scarlett. How many books and the distance our car or object travels, right? We're looking at how many books and the distance. So that's what I'm going to type in. I'm going to scroll down, and where it says the variable you are testing is, I'm going to add a text box. The variables are testing, the variables we are testing, we are testing is, I gotta learn how to type. Maybe I need to be taking those typing little things like y'all do. The variables we are testing are the distance the car / object travels based on the number of books in the stack. Right? I don't need a question mark, I need a period. Sujav. Are you listening? Okay, then you don't need to see it. You shouldn't be staring at this meeting. What should you be looking at? You should be looking at your Cami file, not this meeting. You should not be looking at this meeting. You should be looking at the Cami file. So you have to be listening. So I will tell you again what I typed in so that you can type the same. So on page 3, the title of the page is 1.4 Elaborate. We are typing in the answer to the variable you are testing is, and then we always type in complete sentences. So the complete sentence is, the variables we are testing are the distance the car / object travels based on the number of books in the stack. Okay, so we are testing the distance the car or object travels based on the number of books in the stack. The variables we are testing are the distance the car or object travels based on the number of books in the stack. Let me say it a couple more times. The variables we are testing are the distance the car travels based on the number of books in the stack. Raise your hand if you need me to say it again. Okay, it is the variables we are testing are the distance the car travels based on the number of books in the stack. Thumbs up if you're done. Done typing, and we can move on to explaining how we're going to test this. Thumbs up. All right. Ready to move on? I got a lot of thumbs up. All right. So now we're going to go down to briefly explain how you are going to test this variable. So raise your hand if you can kind of tell me what are we going to do? How are we going to test this? What are we going to do? What are we going to do? How are we going to test the distance and the books? Anybody? Nobody? Are we going to do any testing, or are y'all going to blankly stare at me for a while Talia. Okay, so what are we going to do with it? We are going to measure motion? Speed. What did we type in the other sentence? We are testing LeBron.
We're testing the distance that it goes from the red starting base to the finish.
Okay, so let's think about how we're going to set this up. Like, if you were an engineer that was going to test this, what do we need to do? That's why there's a big space here. So kind of walk me through, how can I do this? Maybe before we type this, I think I have an idea. Hassan.
So, when you build that car, and you see how fast it goes down, like the Hot Wheels hill? So, and you know how it glides up, right? So, I have done this in person, but it's only that the wheels have more traction, and they make it go a little bit faster to glide through the air.
Okay, but I think you're getting ahead of us. Because what we're doing is and we kind of already know what we're doing, but the idea is that we think about it and put it down into words. What are we going to do? What's our experiment and how are we going to set it up? Because that's what it's asking. Explain how you are going to test this variable. So the variables we are testing is the distance based on the stack of books. How are we going to test this? What are we going to do? Step 1, step 2, step 3. Maybe that's not what we're going to do. Maybe we're going to overlook how. Like if you were going to set up the test, tell me what we are going to do and I'll go set it up. Like what are we going to do? How are we going to test this distance? How are we stacking books? What are we doing? Talia. Okay, so I'm going to stack some books. Hang on. Stack some books. Okay. And then what? Okay. You're on the right track, but let's think about this. What did that graph tell us? What did that graph book? How many books? 1 book? 2 books? 3 books? Yeah. So I think what I would do, if this were me, is I would probably create a stack. So I'm going to stack 1 book. Right? I'm going to stack 1 book. And what about a ramp? Stack 1 book. How am I going to place that ramp? What am I going to do? What's medium, though? You keep saying medium. We certainly can. We can extend our lab, but let's think about what they are giving us. Think about the graph said book one book in a stack, 2 books in a stack, and 3 books in a stack. So are we really doing short, medium, and tall, or are we doing 1 book in a stack, 2 books in a stack, and 3 books in a stack? Which one are we doing? were y'all looking at the, were y'all looking at the graph? Are y'all looking at the graph? Like, scroll back up to page 2. Scroll back up to page 2. What does page 2 say about the books? Jordan, please stop. Okay, but it doesn't just say 3. It says, do y'all see the title under there that it says, what does it say? The number of books in the stack? Yeah, number of books in ramp. You have, so we're doing this test 3 times, right? You're going to have 1 book in a stack, then you're going to have 2 books in a stack, and then you're going to have 3 books in a stack, right? So what I'm going to do, and this is why this is such a long process when you are being a scientist that's testing something. You have to be a little bit more specific and detailed. So my first test, so I'm going to go back, and I'm going to say test 1. Test 1. So test 1, I'm going to stack 1 book and lean a ramp. My ramp is going to be a yardstick, Hot Wheels tracks, maybe another book if you're at home and you want to do this. Anything that could create a ramp. Then I am going to release a car or object to roll down the ramp. So, do you guys see what I mean? And I know you can't read. I know you can't read what I'm typing because it's small, but are you listening to what I'm typing? Are you listening to the details that I'm typing in? Because here's something that you guys are having a hard time with, and that is writing in complete sentences and giving me complete thoughts. So, I'm not just typing in one word. Right? I'm typing in complete sentences. So please make sure that when you are being a scientist with these experiments, that you are giving me full details. Because what I could easily do is take what you're typing and create the experiment to see if it even makes any sense, right? So that's kind of what you want to do, is you want to do it so that if somebody else is reading this and they are going to try your experiment, that it makes sense. That they could follow along, right? Because you don't just kind of throw things together. Okay, go figure. I mean, it's kind of hard to do. So we want to make sure that we're giving enough detail that if another scientist wanted to test our theories, they could follow our exact steps, right? So that's what we're typing in. So both hands should be on the keyboard typing, right? You're typing in the steps, you're listening, you're looking at your Cami file and typing it in, okay? So this is what I did. My test 1, I'm going to stack 1 book and lean a ramp against it or on it. Lean a ramp on it. My ramp is going to be a yardstick, Hot Wheels track, another book, anything that could create a ramp. Then I will release a car or an object to roll down the ramp. Next, I will measure the distance So the distance that I'm going to measure is going to be the end of the ramp to the stopping point of my object. I'm not going to measure my ramp. I'm measuring the end of my ramp, so I'm going to measure the distance from the end of the ramp to the stopping or resting place, resting position of the car / object. So that's test 1, right? Test 1 is stack 1 book and lean a ramp on it. Then I will release a car and object to roll down the ramp. Next, I will measure the distance from the end of the ramp to the resting position of the car. I need to spell position. There we go. All right. Y'all got that? Yours does not have to be in the exact same words as mine, but it does need to have complete sentences and details. I'm going to give you a minute to type that in, and then we're going to talk about test 2 and then test 3, right? Test 2 and test 3. So I'm going to give you a minute to finish typing that first test. I'm going to give you 2 minutes to finish typing the first test. Got about 50 seconds left. I'm going to move on to describe test 2. Got about 10 seconds left. All right. So only one thing is going to change with test 2. What's the one thing we are changing with test 2? And then I can copy and paste those sentences. What's the one thing we're changing? Raise your hand if you have any idea what's the one thing we're changing in the second test. A lot of y'all got your cameras off. That ain't cool. None of y'all having, we're not going to do this test? All right. Well, y'all let me know when y'all think about it. Come on! What's the one thing we're going to change?
You can change how you're going to make car actually. First test, you said you're going to start to look at how we're going to make the car move, and we're going to see how many you can measure the speed of this.
Okay, so, well, we're not going to measure speed. We don't have a radar detector. We're not measuring speed. Go back. Go back. What are the 2 things that we are measuring? We are measuring distance and book stack, right? We're not measuring speed. We don't have a radar detector. But we can kind of give ideas about speed because of the distance, but Go back and look at the graph. What's the one thing we are changing in test 2? Tyler.
I was gonna ask how do you measure the distance? I was just doing
You're going to use like a ruler or a measuring tape, or you're measuring distance from the end of your ramp to the resting position to see how far it goes. But there's one thing we are changing in test 2 and test 3. And if you look at that graph, it'll tell you. Come on. That's what we're measuring. That's what we're measuring. What are we changing? There's something that we as scientists are changing. We're going to change something that's going to cause the distance to change. What are we? What do we have control over? Go back and look at that graph. What do we have control over? Chloe. The books. So what's going to be in our second stack? How many though? No. Test 1 had 1 book. Test 2 is going to have 2 books. So, guys, all I'm doing is in test 1, I copied what I typed in for test 1. I pasted it below it and changed the number 1 to number 2. Because I'm not changing anything else with test 2 except for the number of books. So, test 1 says, stack 1 book and lean a ramp on it. Then I will release a car or an object to roll down the ramp. Next, I will measure the distance from the end of the ramp to the resting position of the car. That's test 1. Test 2. Test 2 is going to be stack 2 books and lean a ramp on it. Hang on, I see some of y'all waving at me. Stack 2 books and lean a ramp on it. Then I will release a car and object to roll down. Next, I will measure. So it's the exact same thing, only test 1 has 1 book, test 2 has 2 books, and test 3 is going to have how many books? Kaden, 3. It's going to have 3 books. So for test 3, yes? Oh, I need to change that. Thank you. 3 book? Yeah, that wouldn't make any sense, would it? Let me change that. Good call, Kaden. Oh, I also need to put that S in the right place. All right, so test 3 is going to have 3 books. All right. Yes. Yes. Try to okay, so Chloe, in your Cami file over on the right, you're going to see on the right-hand side of your screen in that blue bar, there's a blue bar going across your Cami file. At the very far right, you're going to see 3 lines. Do you see the 3 lines? Click on it. And down at the bottom, there's going to be an undo button. Click on the undo, and it should take you back to your stuff being there. Click it again. Oh, well then you're going to have to type it over again. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Sujab. I didn't understand a word you just said, hun. Can you repeat that?
Like, the same thing happened to me at 40, it really all stuff. I was like, I'll try it again, and then that's when I was like, okay, I'm still in the system.
I don't know what you're trying to tell me, but okay. If it gets deleted, if the undo button doesn't work, then just try to paste it again, or you're going to have to type it again. I know that stinks, but we're dealing with technology, so we do the best we can with what we have. Does that mean that we have to do it 2 or 3 times? Absolutely. Does that get frustrating? Oh my gosh, yes. But we have to do what we have to do, right? We have to do what we have to do. Doesn't mean we're going to like it. It just means we got to take care of business. Yes? All right. All right, so what we will do, we're gonna stop there. If you need to finish typing this in today, please do so. Please don't leave it blank. I can go in and I can check what y'all have done. Please get this piece done. And if you're so eager, you can go in and you can complete page 4 where you're drawing the picture of what you're gonna do and listing the supplies that you are going to use. Okay? All right. Yes.
The